From the Parongarup National Park, we headed southwest to the Cape Howe National Park, which is roughly at the back of Albany.
One thing I never get tired of is driving through these forests in Western Australia. Gorgeous sweeping bends, smooth roads, and this beautiful tree species all over the place. They're just so massive, these gorgeous karri forests. They are just the most beautiful tree. So big, so majestic, and when you put a dirt road in between them, life somehow seems a whole lot better.
Rightio, Pat, we're back on the rough stuff. Where are we headed?
Mate, we are heading to a place that is considered by Albany four-wheel drivers a local rite of passage. It is a perilous adventure down to Bornholm Beach, and it's a one-way track, mate, so you can go down it pretty easy, but coming back up is a different story indeed. It is challenging and it will test the mettle of any four-wheel driver.
So you've chosen to take me, a bloke renowned for getting your car stuck, down a track you just said is perilous.
Mate, it's only because I love a laugh.
They'll be there in the plenty.
Now getting in here is a little bit tricky because there is a locked gate on Shepherd's Hill Road, and that is the most direct way that you would ordinarily come, or where your navigator might try and steer you. But you don't want that one, you want Bornholm Road South, and that will take you all the way down to the beach. There is another little tricky thing about this place, and they tell me that one of the local farmers offers a little bit of a recovery service, but at a price. If you get down onto the beach and you can't get back out and you need a helping hand, he'll come and get you for a lazy $2,000. This track just seems to get prettier and prettier. These flowering groves of trees just hugging the track. What a spectacular drive. I can understand why coming out of here is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge for your vehicle in particular, because with something this long, particularly on a hot summer's day, you're going to be really stressing out your engine. So it's imperative that you have the right tyre pressures. The locals here have actually written on the signs 8 psi. That's really, really low, but good on them. You can go down to those pressures, so why not take the pressure off your vehicle? Instead of driving in stilettos, you're driving in big old mongrel boots. You know, you're putting the weight of your 4x4 over a far, far larger area, and that allows it to grab traction a lot better. That has got to be one of the longest sandy descents I have ever done. That is just, yeah, I genuinely can't think of a longer sandy descent.
Amazing how the flora around us just changed as well. It just kept going and going and going, and the view ended up being amazing down the bottom.
W8, they just keep on throwing us up things. You know, they've got their Baxter Cliffs, and then they've got these beautiful granite coastlines, they've got their sand dunes. I mean, it is so varied, but every time it's so damn gorgeous.
Oh mate, 100%, I agree. I am just battling with a little bit of a hill that got a bit churned up. You know me, Pat, I love to just spin the wheels a bit, soak up the scenery.
They don't call you Bogger for nothing.
They call me Bogger?
Oh, you know they do.
You can see just how hard the Ranger is working here. This is some of the softest sand I have ever driven.
I'm way too high on my pressures at the moment, so I'm going to dump some air out and have a far more pleasant drive up the beach and out of here, because this is, I'm going to take the locals' advice, this is an 8-pound beach every day of the week. Well, mate, are you ready for the big ascent?
I was just thinking, you said it was the longest descent. That means it's the longest ascent as well. It's going to be interesting.
Well, I hope you got all your modes locked in right, because we've got to head up a hill.
Drive modes for people that get stuck all the time. You know, who needs them?
I think you do, mate. Over the first obstacle.
Good. Just shot up it.
Mate, that was the easy bit. That was the start. Now we've got the real challenge up ahead.
Here we go, the big ascent. It's times like this I certainly am happy that I've got V6 power in my favour. Sand driving is not my forte.
I think the tyre pressures are the real key here. 8 psi, what a magical pressure. If you've got a less capable car, you can probably even dump into 6, maybe even 5. You just got to be a little bit careful that you don't sort of hit bumps too hard, go around corners too hard, because you could pop a tyre off the bead. But this is good. Now I've made it onto some firmer stuff, and I'm smiling.
But while the ranger was walking up, I was oblivious to what was happening down the hill.
I am more of a rock crawling man myself. That's kind of just what you get when you live on the East Coast, I suppose.
Josh was sticking to the old adage, if at first you don't succeed, try something different. So he opted to drop a few more PSI out of his tyres.
Yeah, man, I'm just about to let air out. I can't believe the difference dropping just 2 psi from the tyres. The hill I was struggling with, I now just crawled up. It's incredible.
How's she feeling back there, Josh?
Solid as a rock, mate. It's crawling up, determined. I was just thinking how fitting it is for a Ford Everest to be so keen on reaching the summit. So I'm just still blown away by the difference that tyre pressures can make. You know, obviously dropping from road pressures to sand pressures is going to make a difference, but just then dropping down in increments of 2 psi, I just can't believe it.